Okay, bet. Welcome to the first collab episode. Well, I mean, we've collabed before, but it was for something else. But welcome to the first collab. Probably a many more to come, especially with Summer League going on.
Hell
But
yeah,
you
we
already
got a
know
lot
who
to
I
talk
am.
about.
And there's my boy from Buzz Boys. We'll
Terry,
put the
Buzz
links to
Boys.
everybody's stuff in the description. But go ahead and introduce yourself, or just in case,
What's
even
good,
though
man?
you're gonna post it on yours too.
Yeah, I'm gonna post it on my YouTube. I'm Buzz Boys. I'm Terry, whatever you want to call me. Check me out on YouTube at Buzz Boys and Twitter at Buzz Boys 919. I'm almost at 600 subscribers, so give me 600. Really
Get
get
in
it to
there.
1,000, so I can start getting
Get in there.
paid on this shit.
Yes, sir. Get in there.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, what did you think of this first game? Of this first game against the Victor Wembanyama-less San Antonio Spurs? I
Man,
guess we could talk about the game as a whole, and then we could break it
yeah,
down by the
yeah.
Hornets after.
As a whole, man, it was ugly from the very, very beginning. It was ugly. It was no structure. It was very obvious that there is no true point guard on this roster. I thought Kobe Simmons was actually gonna play. I was surprised he didn't play. I think the Hornets are honestly just trying to figure out, can Nick Smith or Marley Bailey play point guard? Um, because the Hornets seem to be cheaping out on going to get a backup point guard in free agency. So I think that's really what this is. It's a type of trial for that. But overall, the game was ugly. It was like AAU basketball. I'm about to take turns in ISO, and then after I miss and shoot fucking terribly, it's your turn to do the same thing. It was ugly. No defense was played for real, and no
No,
offense was
no.
played because we have an 11-point first quarter, and that led to everything downhill. At one point, what we cut it to 14, maybe.
Yeah,
I,
I think it was like
yeah,
14,
yeah,
15, something like
yeah. I
that.
think that was about as competitive as it got, and then it went right back up to 30. So it was just an embarrassment, to be honest. But that fourth quarter, though, Brandon Miller gave us hope. Like, I'm like, bruh, he
He was
trash.
hitting. He was hitting. I said, "Oh my god!"
I'm like, bro, why us, bro? That fourth quarter kid, he had 12 fourth quarter points because the shots he was taking weren't necessarily bad; they just weren't dropping.
They
And
were,
then
and
what?
yeah, they were rimming out. I was
Yeah,
watching. I was
a
watching
lot
the
of shots
game.
from a lot of guys were rimming out, but them just
Right.
started dropping
Nick
for
Smith
Brandon.
Jr. was also another one where
Yeah,
a lot of his shots were rimming out.
rimming
So
out,
if
and
I mean, like another day, those shots would have hit.
yeah,
We
those
have a
shots would have
completely
hit.
just talk,
But
conversation here.
For Nick Smith, I loved his floater. That's something like breaking down his film. And
Mm-hmm.
check out my channel's draft grade series. I give everybody grade, went over the pros and cons. Nick Smith has an amazing floater. It's amazing. It's his go-to. He's not the most explosive guy out there on the court, so he loved that floater. And he showed that he did what he does well. And that's what I liked from Nick Smith. But I don't see point guard playmaker, no. And I'm not sold on Taylor Maladon either. So we need to take care of that.
Yeah, we do because Nick Smith, he didn't play point guard at Arkansas. I know that was like kind of their plan going into the
Yeah.
season, and then he got hurt, and then Anthony Black shot off from there.
Yep.
Uh, so if you really watch Arkansas later in the year, he was more off ball, and I think we talked about it before we started recording. He's more of a James Bouknight replacement.
Yeah.
That's literally what I saw as soon as they
That's
drafted him. I was like,
that's
this
what
is
I
a James
saw.
Bouknight replacement.
Like they
They
literally
they play
same
the
build
exact same.
and
If,
same
if
build. Nick, they're both 6'5", like
Yeah.
what
If
185.
anything, I would say coming out of college, James Bouknight was more, I would say more smooth than athletic, as opposed to Nick. To me, is more athletic than smooth. But I mean, they both have similarities in their game. I just think James Bouknight came off as more of like that smooth scorer. And then Nick Smith Jr. is that guy who's just, he's just gonna shoot, he's gonna catch and shoot,
Yeah.
he's gonna pull up, and he gonna, like you said, the floater. And
But
that's his game. And it worked. It worked for him.
I love the pick though, bro. Like
I do too. I
he
was
was the
happy.
number one player in his class. Like for us to get
For a
him at
reason.
27 is like historical value. Like
Oh, for
that
sure.
doesn't happen. You don't go from number one in your class to 27, not without a major injury. And his injury, I mean, I guess you could say it was major. He missed over half the season, but he showed why he was number one to me. I mean, he still averaged 13 points in college, and I mean, he was on a loaded Arkansas team. His teammate Anthony Black, number 6 overall. You had what's bro with the
Oh, Jordan Walsh,
yeah, Jordan
a
Walsh.
dog.
Yeah, and I wanted him. I
I
wanted
did. I
him,
wanted him so bad,
and
man. Talk about defense, man.
yeah, I liked him, and even Ricky Council the fourth, and I was surprised he went
Mhm.
undrafted. And
I
shout
did.
out,
I was too.
yeah, and shout out to him because my boy designed his draft day suit. So
Oh, for real?
yeah, my boy
Oh, that's
designed his draft
tough.
day suit. So I was sad that he didn't get drafted, and obviously, but for you to be on a team with three other guys that are draft, well, in the NBA now, NBA players, for him
Hmm.
to come in the middle of the season and still have an impact, it shows he's the real deal. He can get a bucket.
Yeah, for sure. I think so because and another thing is that before his injury, even like you said, he was the number one player in his class. But then also, even when he first originally got injured at the beginning of the season, he was still looked at as a top five pick. I remember like
Exactly.
I did like a mock draft like on Tankathon a few months ago, and I was okay with getting him at 7 or 6 or something like that. So getting him at 27, it was something I would have never imagined.
You.
But I will say he's a case of coming back hurt him because I know a lot of people like to blame players for coming back or not coming back. They're like, why would you do that? You gave up on your team. His draft stock is why he went
Yeah,
from at least being a lottery pick. I think him coming back not playing well and then fell to 27. I think if
but
he would have just sat out and left it up to the imagination, he probably would have went higher.
but to me, I that made me like him even more because it shows he got that dog in him. He cares about his
Mm-hmm.
team because he could easily pull, a Ben Simmons, Michael Porter Jr. He's not even fucking playing, but he could have coasted off his high school clout right into the
Mm-hmm.
NBA. But he wanted to be out there with his brothers, and I mean, Arkansas made a pretty deep run, and he was a part of that. Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
he was.
13 points in college for a freshman is pretty good. Like, it's not a bad season.
Brandon Mills looked at having one of the best college seasons in a while.
He
He
was at
averaged
18.
18 or 19. So
Yeah,
he was six
yeah,
off, and then he's a way better 3 point shooter. So
yeah. So
that's really the difference right there.
yeah, so I was really happy with that pick though.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I think he had a pretty good game. I know the stats may not look at it because, like, I'm looking at him
Yeah, the
now.
stats for everybody's ugly. We got claps for a
Ugly, yeah,
reason.
but you got watched it, you would see what we saw. There was some things to be happy about, but there was definitely some things to be mad about. I think we can, since we said one good positive, I guess, about Nick Smith Jr. Let's break it down to one negative. What is the first negative you want to talk about? And I feel like I already know what it is.
I mean, the first negative was, something that I feel like isn't necessarily a fault of his own, but he's not an NBA level playmaker. I don't see him able to run even a bench unit. I don't see him
Mm-hmm.
able to command these grown men and run the offense. Like,
Right.
and there to me, that's not even necessarily his fault. It's just a team trying to turn somebody into something they're not. Similar to what we tried to do with James Booknight last summer.
That's
And
another good
like,
example.
bro, the Hornets just kept trying to make James Booknight a backup point. He's not a fucking point guard, bro. He's just not. And
He's
I feel
not.
the
He's
same
not.
with Nick Smith. Like, at the end of the day, the playmaking that I saw, it was exactly what I expected. He's not gonna be that good at it. Like, I'm not expecting him to go out
He
and
looked
have.
confused. He looked confused out there sometimes.
Yeah,
Now, granted,
he
I
looked
think
good
we
in
talked about
transition
this.
though. He did look good
Yeah,
in
in
transition. I like
transition,
the
he
way
looked
he got
very
downhill.
comfortable. It was in
But
half court where he looked a little lost, but to like you said, not to a fault of his own. The team looked lost. Like if you watch Spurs
yes,
in the half court, they had people cutting, not getting in each other's way. The Hornets were running into each other,
like, what did
getting
we
cutting each
practice?
other off.
What did we practice,
I
bro?
was
Like,
like, bro,
for
this
real.
Spurs team like coach or Pop came and coached them. Like
Yeah,
that's what it
exactly.
looked
Like,
like.
bro,
Like
we
these,
weren't doing the 3-man weave, none of that shit in practice, bro. Like, I don't know what the fuck
I
we
don't know
were
what we were
doing.
practicing, bro.
I
We were
don't
practicing.
know,
They were
bro.
just playing horse.
It
Because
was a
at the beginning, it was a lot of ISO. It was so much
It was
ISO.
just like take turns basketball. It was Houston Rockets NBA AAU. That's what it was. It was
That's what it
nasty.
looked like.
It was
So
nasty. But that second half, I don't know if coach cussed them the fuck out or whatever, but like in the middle of that third quarter, like when we really like started going, I think we went on what 12-2 run or something like that.
yeah,
Like the whole team was just invigorated. They were playing defense, we were getting steals, they're shooting passing lanes. It's just like, where the fuck was this? And then that fourth quarter, Brandon Miller he showed,
went
yo,
crazy.
I'm the number 2 overall pick. Like, he went crazy.
Yeah, I like what I saw from him, and especially in the fourth quarter. And I made a comment about it, like what I'm more looking at. I'm more so valuing what he did in the fourth than I am upset at what he did the first three
Yeah,
quarters
and I mean,
because the first three quarters he was garbage. I'm not even gonna lie to you, he was garbage.
yeah,
But I wasn't worried. Like it wasn't like, oh, we made the wrong pick or anything like that. But it
yeah,
was like, damn, he's struggling. He's
yeah,
struggling.
he's struggling, and it was just like I don't know. It could have just been first game jitters, and I really like I said, like we talked about earlier, his shot selection wasn't necessarily that bad. And I know
Mm-hmm.
I saw plenty of tweets about how weak he looked, saying he can't complete an and one, and it was going to be 3 years till we saw him complete an and one. I don't know who tweeted that, but that shit was funny. But he
It
actually
was
did get a
funny.
few and ones in the game. Like he just
Yeah.
had to get going. And that's just something for I mean, as players that are scorers, you see the ball go through a few times, you feel good. It just
Mm-hmm.
can do something for you. But he made good passes. The playmaking was impressive for his
Mm-hmm.
size, for his position, and also the rebounding. He showed why he
Yeah.
averaged 8 rebounds in college. So I was impressed with that from him. And the
Because if he wasn't
resiliency.
pulling it, he was. If he wasn't pulling the rebound down himself, he was tipping it. Now, Kai was standing there just looking at him battle, but
Man,
because there was a few possessions, and I wish I might even go back and look just for this sake of this, but there was a few possessions where ball comes off the rim, Amari Bailey has to fly from the perimeter to tip it while Kai Jones just stands there and looks at the ball
like,
and not even boxing out anybody, just literally just
bro,
looking.
like it's like Kai just looked like a deer in the headlights several
He's
times on
lost all the time.
offense and defense. And it's like he's physically gifted to the point where he can run fast, jump, dunk on any fucking body. But it's like outside of that, it's just like, bro, his basketball IQ is non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Like, bro, this is year 3. What do you work on? And I don't know if you remember, but this was maybe 3 weeks ago. Kai
Mm-hmm.
Jones posted a video and he was out there dribbling, crossing, doing step back threes, bro. And I said, this is not what he needs to be working on to help him get real NBA minutes. And some people
For sure.
argue with me up under that tweet. I don't know if you remember that, but it was painstakingly obvious. You're not gonna do this in a game. If he made the three in the video, whatever, like but Lamelo was guarding him. Lamelo wasn't playing defense. And on top of that, even if you make that shot, you think Steve Clifford wants you taking that shot? If you miss that shit, you're getting pulled. Even if you make it, you're probably coming out either fucking way.
I think he
It's just
got pulled tonight, and because I know you were saying that you didn't really see the like first few minutes of the game, but when he did that, where he pulled, I think he got a steal and tried to go up the court, similar to what he did
I
last
saw that
summer league.
in transition. In
They pulled him
transition,
out after that.
going all the way. He doesn't like to pass in transition. It's like, bro. Now Jalen Bedenos is somebody who used to do that same shit, but he would score.
He would score. Yeah, he would score.
Kai Jones in transition, he's not passing. Now he'll fuck around, hit with that little behind the back, and they'll be like, "What the fuck?" And then he gets to the
It
rim.
didn't create no space.
He gets to the rim, bro, and it's like if he can't dunk it, he's finna sell the layup, bro.
Oh yeah, it's always like the ugliest layup you'll ever see,
Yeah,
and
bro.
it's just frustrating because like you to your point, he's so athletically gifted. Like this man could do things that I have not seen many people do.
It's just like, bro,
Like when
why
it comes
can't
to
you
just
put it
pure athleticism,
together?
just can't put it together. And part of it is like I wouldn't say he doesn't want to put it together. It's just he doesn't want to be the player he's built to be. Like something I mentioned,
Exactly.
yeah, something I mentioned when I was talking about when we drafted James Najee. I was like, what I like about James Najee is he's 18, 19. He knows what he is. I'm
Exactly.
going here to
Bro, I said
rebound.
the same
I'm here
thing
to
in my
block.
video, bro.
I'm here to set screens. Kai Jones wants to dribble. He wants to. Well, he doesn't want to pass. But if Kai Jones thinks if when Kai Jones passes, I bet he passes like LaMelo. Like he doesn't want to. He wants to dribble. He wants to shoot. He wants to do everything else. But he does not want to just be a center. He wants to be old Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
know.
just like, bro, that's not your game. At least not yet. Do the
He
basics first. Just be a regular center. I don't care if you're Clint Capella.
Ma-
Clint Capella will
Mason
probably
Plumlee ruined him.
he saw Mason
blame
do it, and it was
Plumlee.
like he wants to do it too.
I blame Plumlee, bro. He was under Plumlee's wing, and he thought that shit was the route, bro. That's what
Plumlee
happened.
used to do it too, but at least Plumlee would pass. That was Plumlee's problem, though. He would just wait. Like
He
he
thought
would
he
just.
was Magic Johnson. That was
It
Plumlee's
was like, bro,
problem,
just take
bro.
it up, bro. It's like, bro, Trae Young is on you. Just take it up. Like he was just
Yeah, bro.
behind the back. But yeah, Kai is
I'm
just
trying to
frustrating
pull up the
because it's been
box
so long.
score, bro, because I think I saw that Kai Jones had 0 rebounds, and I'm finna see if that's true.
Oh, let me
Um,
see. Yeah, he did. He had 0. I'm looking.
yeah,
He had
Kai
0
Jones
rebounds.
as a starting center that played 21 minutes, 0 for 3 from the field, 0 fucking rebounds, 0 assists, 5 fouls, 2 points. Bro, you're bro,
21 minutes. Good
you're
God.
sentenced to the Greensboro Swarm forever, bro. It's over. Like Kai
Oh
is not
man.
helping. Kai is not going to contribute to the Hornets playing winning basketball, bro.
And
It's
wasn't
over.
there a point last year where he wasn't even playing for, like, he was on the team at the Greensboro Swim, but he wasn't getting any minutes? I think there was a
Now
time where he just,
I don't remember that because I know whenever
maybe it
he
was,
went
I'm
to
thinking of Book Night.
yeah. Now Book
I
Night
think it was
did get
Book
some
Night I'm thinking of.
Book Night did get some DMPs and was coming off the bench in Greensboro.
I was
Now,
like, bro.
with Kai, whenever he went to Greensboro, it's like when Kai goes to Greensboro, he has fucking 27 points, 14 rebounds, 4
Oh,
blocks,
well.
and then
Boy
he
turned
comes
into
right
Hakeem
back to the
Olajuwon.
Hornets, and it's just like, what the fuck? But I
I
think
think it's
with
because he be doing the same shit. Like, I think it's because it works in the G League. So the thing, he's like, oh, I can do it here. And it's like, bro, no, you can't. You
bro,
cannot.
and I don't remember exactly what video I talked about this shit in, but this is where I feel like Greensboro can hurt these guys, bro,
For
because
sure.
they
For
go to
sure.
Greensboro and down there in Greensboro, they're not strict with them. They don't make them play within the system, and they go down there and they have the green light to do whatever the fuck, and they don't work on shit that is going to help them contribute on the real team. Okay, you might be able to take this 30-foot step back jumper in Greensboro, but you are not going to have the shot opportunities or the minutes to do shit like this in Charlotte. Because as soon as you do some dumb shit, you're done. You're getting a DMP for the next like 10 games.
And I
Like,
think I think Mark Williams is a good testament to that because of who he is. He didn't a lot. If you watch Mark Williams in Greensboro, he is not the same person he is when he comes to Charlotte. Like, he plays obviously a little bit of the same, but in Greensboro, he was pulling off some shit that he was pulling off, like post spins and all that. He don't do that, but like I
but
said, it's because of who he is. He knows I
yeah,
can't just be doing that shit
yeah,
in when I
that.
with
But
Charlotte.
it's honestly because Steve Clifford was very vocal about that. Steve Clifford came out and said Mark Williams can shoot threes, but he's not going to
Yeah,
do it this year.
he said that quick, dude.
We can wait and try that next year and let
Mm-hmm.
his game, develop. Like, I want you to be great at what you're good at first. That's what Steve Clifford said. And that's what I think Kai Jones needs to fucking learn. Bro, you might be able to shoot the occasional three, Kai Jones. You might be able to dribble sometimes. But damn it, until you're good enough at blocking, setting screens, dunking, and doing the stuff that a center could do, then you can focus on trying to expand your game. But it's like, bro, you a fucking 68 overall, bro, trying to work on other shit, bro. I need you to
And trying to
block
catch
and dunk.
oops.
Like,
They threw so many oops tonight, and I was like, bro, I know this is
and
Kai
none of them
telling them to
shits
throw them.
work. They
I
didn't
know
work
this
for
was Kai telling
shit.
them to throw them, bro. I got to
Like,
go back
bro.
and see if he was pointing up because they threw him so many. And it was like, bro, there's 3 people on him. Why are y'all even attempt? I'd rather you shoot it.
And that's where it's just like, bro, like for y'all to be year 3 guys, it wasn't obvious to me that
Yeah,
these are the leaders right here. Oh, that's the number 2 overall pick right there. Now, until that fourth quarter, it didn't seem like there was a number 2 overall pick on that court. It seemed like he
I
might have
agree.
played for the Spurs. He might have played for the Spurs, but he wasn't on the Hornets roster until that fourth quarter. But yeah, I didn't see any of that. I didn't see any of that, man. I was disappointed from the veterans. Now, Book Knight, he didn't have the worst game, but
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
as a 3-year veteran, he didn't make the leap that I thought, bro. He had 12 fucking points and shot
And then I think
25% from three and
yeah,
one
it had like
assist.
ones across the board, like 1
Yeah,
rebound, 1
so
assist, 1
so
steal.
it's just like, bro, at the end of the day, these guys, first off, by your 3rd year, if you're good enough, you shouldn't even be playing summer league. But for you to be here and not clearly be the best player for your team, I'm disappointed.
Or at least a leader. Like, it was just like, bro, you getting some, like, this is the thing. For James Booknight and Kai Jones specifically, this is it. Y'all don't figure it out here. I'm not saying you're going off the team, but I am saying it's going to be really hard to get these. Well, they were our first round pick minutes because I feel like that's what they've been getting the last 3
Yeah,
years, really.
yeah,
Well, we already spent a first round pick on them. We might as well. This is it. If you don't show up in this summer league, that's it for you. You're not getting those minutes. Bryce McGowan was a first round pick, but they gave him a fully
Bryce
guaranteed
McGowan's
contract, so he's going to get those minutes. Nick Smith Jr. is going to get those minutes. Cody Martin's coming back. I don't know what they're going to do with that, but that's someone who didn't even play last year. So this is it for y'all. So when Brandon Miller, I think there was a point where Brandon Miller did something stupid, turned it over. We're down 30, and he's smiling. If I'm Booknight, I'm like, hey, cut that shit.
What the fuck?
My career is on the line. Are you out here joking? Like, and it's serious because it's like, why are y'all are the veterans at this point? 3 years in, while y'all may not have the minutes or whatever of other people who are in your draft class, you've still been in the league. Yeah, this is summer league. So at least like do something. Like, so when Brandon Miller was smiling, you'd be like, bro, you just turned it over and we're down 30. Yeah, there's nothing to smile about.
But one thing I will say from Book, now it really doesn't mean too much, doesn't really mean shit. But like they were going to commercial and like they were zooming out, and it was something in the background. Whereas if I was anything other than a Hornets fan, I wouldn't notice. Book was the only person on the bench clapping. He was clapping.
I saw that, yeah.
And you know, so that's something that we didn't even see from him in Charlotte. In Charlotte, bro, he'd be sitting there twiddling his thumbs. Like, he could care less about what the fuck is going on when there's a Charlotte Hornets game on. And I think now he realizes, yo, my career on the line. So, you know, at least he did show that from that little clip of him on the bench. But, I mean, his play didn't necessarily show it. Bro, you need to have 20 plus, period. I don't give a fuck.
Or at least 20 shots. One of the two.
Yeah, something.
I'd rather you take all. If we're going to lose like this, at least put it up.
But he was 4 for 7, right?
Yeah, 4 for 7. 24 minutes,
like,
26 minutes.
At the end of the day, the field goal percentage, well, the 3-point percentage was bad. He was 1 for 4, right? But, I mean, 4 for 7 from the field. Okay, be more aggressive, bro. Like, that's over 50% shit. Be more aggressive if you're not shooting that badly. But it's like he wasn't aggressively hunting his shot, which is, I mean, good, I guess, because he's really a shot chucker, to be honest. But he wasn't playmaking for others. It's like you're just out there. You're just one of the guys. You're not the leader of this fucking team, which he should.
It looked like Bryce McGowan's to me.
Exactly.
Like, to your point, what you were talking about, Book Night clapping, Bryce McGowan, every time when he was on the bench, he would be the first person off when, you know, timeout or whatever happened. He would be the first one coming up, dapping to the players, talking to the players, and then also his play. I didn't see him really talking to anybody like that, but the way he was playing, he was like, all right, I'm going to make the most of this. Like, if you look at his stat, yeah, he was 3 for 10, but I will take, if you watch the game, I will take that kind of 3 for 10. Because my biggest thing
he played with.
Right. That was my biggest thing with Bryce from last year when we were playing those like trash games where he was starting. He still kind of played like, oh, I'm a second round pick. Don't want to step on nobody's toes. But it's like at that point, it's like, bro, the season's over. Take off. Do what you do. Drop. Shoot 20 times.
Sometimes he shows that dog. And he's right. And one thing I like about McGowan's, he actually cares about defense. And any player on this team that does that, I automatically like them because that is our Achilles heel. This team is simply not interested in playing defense, bro.
They don't care,
man. Steve Clifford did get this team playing. Once we finally started marketing, we should have been fucking doing. Yeah. You know, we were a top 5 defensive team in the NBA, which I'm looking forward to this year. Hopefully we can
replicate. For a month. It was like a month and a week or something like that. It was a good little bit.
So hopefully we can replicate that. But the reason McGowan's is going to get minutes is because he can show flashes of a two-way player. You know, the Hornets, I think we learned from that whole Malik Monk, like, okay, you can give me 10, 12 points, but, bro, you're going to get blown by every time and give up fucking 20 points on the other end. It doesn't matter.
And as good as Malik Monk has been in Sacramento, that was their downfall. They couldn't play defense worth of crap. So, I mean, now, granted, I will say that the Hornets let Malik Monk go, and then they're still allowing the same thing. So it's kind of like, I get you're trying to send a message, but you didn't change anything. But still, I will say, like you said, Bryce McGowan, he shows he can affect the game in other ways outside of just scoring. And Brandon Miller, I think, showed that to an extent tonight too, because
all-around game.
Right, his fouls were stupid. Like, this is the thing, though. Yeah, all his fouls were dumb.
He took a lot of frustration fouls. You could tell he was angry, and you know he had a certain type of probably envision of how he was going to go out there and play.
For sure.
So for the first 3 quarters, it was nowhere close to whatever he probably had predicted from himself. He was mad. He took a lot of stupid fouls.
And then he had a bad turnovers, trying to throw oops to Kai, just stupid stuff. Everything that I think I had a problem with his game tonight is stuff that easily can be fixed with just him playing.
Yeah, because
Like I don't think
mainly,
you're taking those dumb fouls if you don't have 10. Like
yeah,
you have 10 summer league fouls. So
yeah,
I guarantee you more than half of those he wouldn't have did if he, it was the regular 6 and then the turnover the same thing. But everything else, I mean, he's as advertised in my opinion. The shot,
yeah, he was as
it,
advertised, and he got to the basket better than I thought. He got to the basket
yeah,
pretty
he
well,
did.
and I think that anger did something to help that as well because he was relentless. He, his
Mm-hmm.
field goal percentage wasn't that good, but he didn't stop shooting. He didn't stop getting downhill. He didn't stop getting to the free throw line, and that's something that I like with him too. His shot wasn't crazy, but he got to the free throw line. How many
And
free throws did he
and
shoot? You had that?
7, I believe. Let me see.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shot 7.
So yeah, like that was most of his points. I think he had 6 points, and like they were all fucking free throws. And he made one layup. He did make one
Yeah,
layup
like he made one layup and
in
everybody's
the
like,
second quarter. Yeah,
"Oh."
his first points was in the second quarter.
Yeah.
So he found other ways to get himself going, which is what you want from a player to be self motivated at this stage of their career.
Yeah, and then even at the end when he got the and one, you could tell he wasn't happy. Like he didn't voice it, but
Yeah.
and that's something minute, but it matters to me because I've seen this team be down 30 and be like doing the stupid handshakes on the bench, and it be making me mad. It'd be like, bro, if I was on instead of 6 feet, if I was just 6'4", like it'd be
I would
making
be
me that
straight.
mad. It'd be
I
like,
would be
bro,
straight, bro. Oh God.
it'd be making me so mad. Like people be laughing at like, oh, I have a bunch of friends. Like we in this basketball group chat, all of them, all their teams made the playoffs last year, even the Kings fan. So they all just be laughing at me. They'd be like, bro, I'm not even mad at y'all laughing at me because my team is sitting here down 30 doing that stupid LaMelo Miles Bridges where they
Bro,
sway side to side. They be
motherfuckers
like, bro,
be like, bro,
yeah,
what
I'd be
the
like, bro,
fuck,
we're down
bro?
45. Like, what are we doing? So, but you could tell he was frustrated in his game. I hope that doesn't affect him like mentally, but I do appreciate just you could tell he just was not happy.
Yeah,
And
but
that's the type of energy we need because I know people dogged him for that because they were saying Scoot is this person who you gonna know how he feels. And I like and that was something I liked about Scoot. But Brandon Miller's that way too. I just don't think he's that vocal about it, which
yeah,
that's
Miller is
perfectly okay.
a more soft spoken guy, and like the social media team has been showing him more and more, and like he is kind of funny and kind of, but he's still you can tell he's still kind of reserved. Like he's
Yeah.
not the most outgoing personality. But bro, as far as his mental fortitude goes, I'm not worried about it. At the end of the day,
Mm-mm.
I mean, it sounds bad, bro, but that nigga beat a murder charge and came and dropped 40, bro. Like at the end of
Right.
the day, bro, like motherfuckers chanting what lock him up, lock him like, bro, that's crazy. And that motherfucker had
Yeah.
40. Like,
40.
bro, nothing regarding
Phases him for
sports
real.
can compare to that shit. Like, they're literally chanting this man should be in jail, and he's hooping like he,
Hoop going
bro.
crazy. And
So
flexing and talking
yeah,
and all everything, man.
with that already kind of showed me his mental fortitude, and I feel like that definitely had a lot to why Michael Jordan probably chose his ass. Like, because
No, for sure.
if that can't get in your head, bro, nothing get in your head.
And,
Motherfuckers booing you on a second missed
right.
free throw to try to get a frosty, that shit ain't gonna bother you. The way that shit bothered Isaiah
Right.
Thomas.
Oh yeah, hey, boy, what?
That shit ain't gonna bother him, bro.
It ain't gonna bother him at all. And then also, like, you gotta think about it, like, even on a smaller scale, like we said tonight, the first 3 quarters, he was horrible. He was horrible. But in that fourth quarter, he came out and hooped. And
Ooh.
for that to be the first game everybody's seeing you, obviously, there's talks about you shouldn't have been the second overall pick. And then and then I mean, it's just in general, you played like crap the first 3 quarters. To come out in that fourth quarter and hoop the way he did, I'll take it. I'll take it any day of the week.
When they play in Vegas?
They play in the real summer league, I think. I
Yeah,
don't think
okay,
they
so
play.
they not in Salt Lake. Okay, I thought they
Oh,
might
but
have
if
been
he
in
dropped
Salt Lake.
20, it's over. Like the narrative is over.
Yeah, but I
It's
mean, the
oh
thing
my
is,
god.
Brandon Miller, the fact that he finished with 18, that's a good respectable number. Like if he would have had like 12, it would have been like, damn. But like, okay, he had 18. Okay, damn, he basically had 20. You know what I'm saying? Like we get
Yeah, he
so
basically had 20.
so
So as long as
on the
Scoot don't get 30,
yeah.
we should be
So
good.
on the fifth, bro, who we play? You know who we play?
The Warriors. Yeah, on
Yeah,
Wednesday we
so
play the
so
Warriors.
yeah, so if Brandon Miller goes for like 25 that game, which he could, because the fact he had 18 and he started off so badly, he could easily have 20 plus.
Yeah, for sure.
So, that should put everything to bed. And plus he's gonna have a good all around game. We know he's gonna rebound and get a few assists. So, but something that really something I really liked watching him, his closeouts. He was
Mm-hmm.
out there, he was contesting every shot, And I mean, his wingspan, like that was something that was so evident to me. Just the length on the floor from not just him, from just everybody. I mean, Nick Smith, like the wingspan out there. I mean, it's crazy. You know, Nick Smith has a fucking 6'11" wingspan.
I did not know that.
Like, bro, what the fuck? So
I can see it. Like now you're saying it, and I'm thinking
yeah,
I
cause
can
like
see it. I did not know that
he's
though.
6'5", bro. So it's like his arms longish, like so it's just like it was like a play where in the corner, Miller contests, the shot comes off the rim, they get the offensive rebound. Miller's fighting for the block, Nick Smith's fighting for the block, like, and I think we got the block and went the other way. And it was just like, okay, I started clapping. I was like, yeah, nigga, like, okay, this is what the fuck I want to see. Like, okay, shit's going bad, you're down 30, but can you fight? Are you gonna fight on those closeouts, stuff like that? Cause that shit why the Hornets honestly used to get cooked last year. We're lazy closing out, like, and just last days ago, don't give a fuck. But
Mm-mm.
the Hart and Brandon Miller show is something that like is good for the culture. Is what
I think it is because he didn't give up on anything. If he got beat or anything like that, he didn't. And I think also I know some of it. There was plays where it seemed like he was kind of like out muscled. If anything, I felt like he was trying not to. He was trying not to foul. I'm not saying that he doesn't need to game muscle because he do.
yeah, he do.
But
Yeah.
I think a lot of it was he was trying not to foul. I think he was trying not to like be too physical. But I mean, I think he's going to learn real quick that that's how you play. That
Yeah,
it's not college
it
basketball.
just is what it
get
is.
yeah. So I think that's more of a learning curve more so than like his body because once he started playing that way, he was straight.
Yeah, he
Like you
was
said, he
straight.
started and ones and converting that
Yeah.
basket. So he just
And
had to realize that it
and
just took too long.
he even tried to take that charge. Now he was a little late getting to the
Oh,
spot. It was a block, but that's
right.
still what you want to see. There's a lot of players. They're not putting anybody on line for no fucking charge.
Mm.
There's a lot of players not
Especially
doing
at
that.
half court down 30.
Yeah, they're not trying that shit. So like he definitely showed resiliency, and that was something that I really loved out of him.